Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Ariella and I make med school content, lifestyle content, and education content, so if you're interested in any of that, just please keep on watching. So I actually wasn't going to film anything this week at all because I wanted to just spend time with family, but I have a little bit of time to myself, and so I've never made like any type of resolutions list or goals list, so I wanted to make one that was like mostly medically related. So these are going to be my goals for the year 2020. So I made this list really small. I only picked 5 things, and 4 of those are kind of like school life related, and then one of them is only like lifestyle related. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I think is like achievable for me and what I want to do this year. So yeah. So the first goal for me is to improve the time that I spend prepping for boards while I'm in school. So currently I'm basically doing no boards prep. I just learn the information that is going to be on my test, and then I move on for the next test without actively reviewing the old information. And that is really, really important for solidifying this information into your long-term memory, and it just makes things a little bit easier so that come time when you have your dedicated study period, you remember more than you otherwise would have because it's been stored in your long-term memory. So I think a realistic goal for me would be to start doing like 1 hour of CommBank questions. CommBank is like the DO version of the USMLE bank. So it has like a bunch of example board questions that you can go through, you can rank them by topic, etc. Yeah, I would like to do an hour of CommBank every weekend except for a weekend before an exam. I think that's a pretty realistic goal, and even if I get all the questions wrong, I think the best way to improve your score is to expose yourself to those questions. So that's one thing that I really, really would like to implement this coming year and, you know, in my academic years moving forward until I have to take the boards. So my second and third goals kind of go together a little bit, but goal number 2 is to find a better balance between relaxing and studying. Currently, the relaxing situation is pretty abysmal. I don't really do a lot of relaxing. I've said in previous videos, I like to keep like the hour from 9 to 10 p.m. to myself, but besides that, I'm basically doing work all day, and then occasionally, if I have enough time, I'll be able to take like 1 or 2 days off on the weekend, but it really doesn't feel like enough to me right now. I feel like I'm getting pretty burnt out, and when I'm at home, like on break doing something, I feel like I'm not being productive, and so I'm stressed even if I'm not in school. I think that the best way to improve this is to maybe modify my study techniques so that I can be more efficient with my studying and save myself a little bit more time so that I can relax. So number 3, which is sort of related to number 2, is to find a way to exercise more. I feel like everyone has this goal in like the coming new year, and for me it's not like a huge one. I exercise as much as I can, but like I said, I feel like I don't really have a ton of time, and there's really no excuse for not exercising. I exercise really well for the first week. The second week I go maybe a couple days, and then for the last 2 weeks maybe I go once. So the closer I get to an exam, the less time I spend on myself and the more time I spend studying, so the less time I spend in the gym. And exercise is so, so important for your mental state. It's really important for me to not burn out, and I feel like I have more energy throughout the day when I work out. So what I would like to do is find a way to make exercise a little bit more sustainable or more consistent in my schedule, because right now, like I said, it kind of builds up right in the beginning of my test block and then slowly fades away. So hopefully this coming year I can find ways to equalize that a little bit more and maybe do like some home workouts and some home yoga more often, which I used to do a lot, but I don't really do anymore because I don't have a lot of space in my room, but that's not really a good excuse, so I'm gonna try that. I've also found that I have a lot of issues with exercising because of my asthma, and when I'm in the anatomy lab all the time, even with like masks and respirators, the formaldehyde levels just really irritate my asthma. So I think that modifying my exercise from being a lot of cardiovascular related exercise to more like weightlifting and yoga and things like that is gonna help me a lot. Normally my stress reliever is just getting on the cycling bike and cycling for an hour, and that like really helps me burn off steam and get a sweat on, and I really like that. But unfortunately, that's a very cardiovascularly demanding exercise, and with my asthma, it's just really, really difficult. So I want to be able to incorporate other things so I'm still moving and I'm still working out, but I am not irritating my asthma further. My fourth resolution or goal is to cook more in school. So I used to cook a lot in undergrad because I was following like a very strict diet, and so I needed to cook my own food a lot of the time. Since I've come to medical school, I find that I'm just not really cooking that much at all, and it's because I feel like I can't really spend that much time in the kitchen. Like, I don't have an hour to just give up to prepping, cooking, cleaning up, and eating. I think ways that I can maybe potentially work on this is I can study more downstairs, like in the kitchen, instead of in my room all the time. It's really hard because our kitchen is next to these big glass doors that don't insulate very well, so our kitchen gets really, really cold. But I think it would be a better idea to like maybe study in the dining room while I'm letting something like simmer in a pot. Hopefully I'll be able to work that in coming this year. It's just, I think, about finding a balance and finding easy recipes. So if you have any crock pot recipes that you recommend, please let me know, because those are always the easiest, and I just haven't even broken out my crock pot yet, so we need to work on that. So this last thing has always kind of been a goal for me, and that is to spend less money on useless crap and more money, like put that money towards either saving or spending time with friends and family, eating out if I want to. I spend a lot of my money on clothing, and that's because I'm like a stress shopper. At the end of the day, I have so much clothing. I have way more than I need, and so spending all this money just isn't practical. And so that's something that, you know, I've been trying to work on for many, many years. So I hope to continue spending less and less money on like things and more money on experiences, which is so incredibly lame to say, but obviously there's a reason people say it. It's because it's way more rewarding to spend it on time with your friends and family. Yeah, I would also really like to save money because I'm potentially going to be living in a more expensive area next year, and so I need to save up for that. I've been relatively loose with my finances so far. I follow a budget, but I think I could definitely lower the grocery budget because I end up, you know, not cooking, not eating the food that I buy, and then wasting it. So I want to be a lot more strict with my grocery budget and with how I'm using those groceries to make it last the whole week, and figure out like how I can make things go until my next grocery trip without actually wasting things. So that's something I've been working on again since undergrad, and so hopefully I will find ways this year to make that a little bit better. Yeah, and so those are my 5 goals for the new year for 2020. It'll be the rest of my first year of medical school and then the beginning of my second year of medical school. So I think those things will just help make my life a little bit easier and a little bit more fun, and also I'll be able to like save some money and just feel better. So yeah, hopefully I will still be able to make videos like this because I think it's really, really fun, and I'm glad that I had this chance to sit down and just put this little thing together. So if you have any video requests, let me know down below and I would love to make them. And if you have any questions about medical school or really anything, feel free to comment or message me. And yeah, I'd love to chat, and I hope you guys have a great new year. Bye-bye.